We OG, we OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Yeah. Experts on reload. Yeah, yeah. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock. Ayy. Runes is coming. Everybody on a knot. Ayy. It's a nuisance. Ordinal Revolution. Ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, is my guy for real, bro?
Run stuff.
Got French right now. Yo, BRC-420, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the steel. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution. Ayy, Bitcoin is the one, no substitution. Ayy, with Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live for the Ordinal Hour, and it's going to be absolutely amazing because the king of all crypto is pumping, guys. He is pumping, and he is not stopping. He will not stop. He will destroy every short in front of him, liquidating billions of dollars. I'm excited. You should be excited. This is what we've been waiting for. This is why we are in crypto, for moments like this. And am I saying we're going to hit 70,000 today? Am I saying we're going to get 100,000 by the end of the week? Yes, I'm saying that. No, I'm just kidding. We have no idea, right, guys? I think we have to just be excited for what we're seeing right now. And I mean, this is kind of all like, you know, we kind of envisioned this last week when Rune's pumping. It feels like Rune's was kind of like the hint that this was going to happen. And I think that's going to continue. I think Ordinals are going to continue. I think our whole entire ecosystem, Bitcoin, everything is going to explode, whether it's a layer 2 like Stacks and Merlin and Fractal and Runes and BRC-20s. I think everything is about to take off right now, and it is going to be very exciting. It's going to be a little stressful because you're not going to know when to sell, right? You don't want to sell too early, but you also don't want to sell too late. But we got all the information for you guys. We're gonna help you guys get through everything you need to do. So just stay tuned with Ordinal Revolution, and we will help you guys and guide you through the tough times. Not financial advice whatsoever, but exactly what we think is the best. But without further ado here, I'm bringing my partner, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you feeling today, bro?
I'm feeling good. You know, I posted my meme when I first woke up, my Billy meme, and it was like one of those, you know, it's gonna be a good day. And look what happened. You know, you got to get that positive energy going. Bitcoin was actually started running kind of late yesterday, right? And continues this run up. Now, let's not get too excited yet, but it seems like, you know, people are ready to start Uptober.
I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. And, you know, we do got some, like, stuff in the news that's really bullish. I mean, presidential candidate Kamala Harris to give more details on crypto policies today. What does that mean? I have no idea. But it's better than nothing. I mean, she hasn't really said anything. I've never even heard her say the word Bitcoin.
Yeah, it seems like that side of the aisle is kind of grabbing, you know, trying to hold on to something right now, right? And so there's a lot of announcements and things that they're putting out recently. This is one that maybe they're trying to appease our industry, right, in this community. But at the end of the day, this is kind of like what I was hinting at before, that like, look, yeah, the regulations and policies not going to be as friendly, not even close with this administration, but they are going to move forward in a way, you know, it might be diagonally and stuff like that. But, you know, this is good, like you said, because at the end of the day, they're talking about it, they're, you know, acknowledging it. And that's really what's important.
Yeah, but if people think for 1 second that she's going to be any different than the sitting president now, I think you're misguided. I think, you know, this is just a ploy to get votes, and that's all it is. Because the real crypto champion, it seems to be Trump. I mean, he's launching a coin tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, he has championed it in terms of speaking at the Bitcoin conference, has brought it up multiple times, has referenced creating a stockpile of Bitcoin reserve for the country. And those type of things is what, you know, I believe is you know, giving them that edge in this industry and community, right? So this right here, I don't know too much about in terms of like what the whole objective is. I think this might be his family maybe kind of getting behind this, but we'll see what happens with this.
Yeah, I think what happened was, I think Don Jr., when, you know, the Trump was the whole arrest thing that was happening a few months ago, I think he really started to dig deep into Bitcoin then, because he was like, you know, all right, they're coming at us this way, they're probably going to come at us in different ways. I need to figure out ways to make sure that our assets are safe. And I think that's when he really started to maybe like lean on the Winklevi, who are good friends of Don Jr.'s right now. And, you know, he learned a lot about Bitcoin over the course of this year. And I think, you know, by that, he, you know, was like, let's launch our own thing. Because I mean, once you get in Bitcoin long enough and you have lots of money, it's kind of like you kind of want to set your own type of standard. And I think he's trying to do that with this coin. I have no idea any details of World Liberty Fi, but all I know it's coming from the Trump you know, camp, whether that's or Trump himself, or, you know, let's just say people around them. But I don't know. This is just good. In general, if he does win, and I mean, the president has a coin. I mean,
I don't know. I think there's probably a little bit mixed feelings in response to this, but it is what it is. They announced it, so it's going to come out. I just hope it has sustainability, and you know, there's something that this really has substance behind it. But we'll see. That is kind of on the side for me. I'm more excited about the way things seem to be moving for Bitcoin right now, like the price action and our chance for an October. You know, I think we just gotta end in the green, right? Like, let's not have the first red October after, you know, a green September. I think there's been only one other instance of that over the past maybe like 12 years or something, 10 years. And so let's continue the tradition of having a green October after a green September. And I do feel like we're gonna do that.
Yeah, I have just one last words on this World Liberty Fi, is just that if somebody in his camp dumps or something like that, or if there's a big dump or something, this could end really badly. Like, let's just say, like, they let someone get in this early and they dump on everybody, and this looks like a rug pull in any way possible. This could be, you know, a huge hit to the group. So I don't know. I just hope if they do this, they do it smart, and they have actual crypto people to advise them. But I get your point.
I mean, definitely, like, if it's launching tomorrow, right? Because I mean, to launch a token, how many days out we're talking about? Like, maybe like 20 days out or something, 21 days out. How many ever days it is? It's so that's part of my concern there. But yeah, I think let's move on from this and focus on the positive and stuff like that.
Well, some real positive rumors here. Rumors are circulating that Qatar, a wealthy Middle Eastern nation known for its vast natural gas reserves and modern capital city, Doha, may invest $500 billion in Bitcoin.
Yeah, I'm not actually surprised about this. Once I started hearing whispers of Saudi Arabia and that whole region getting involved with Bitcoin and stuff like that. I was like, okay, so this is going to spread to the more wealthier countries in that region, which, you're talking about Dubai, you're talking about UAE, you're talking about Qatar.
Yeah.
And these cities want to be like the futuristic type cities of, that Middle Eastern region, right? And of the world, really. My layover was in Doha, and man, it's definitely on the top 3 airport that I've ever been at, right? And so the oil, kind of the old oil money is kind of dipping their toes into Bitcoin, and this is huge because they have so much capital and liquidity, man. Imagine them pouring it into the ecosystem.
Yeah, and think about how much natural gas reserves they have. I mean, this is not the best way to mine Bitcoin, but they could take some of that gas that they have and potentially make money on it, right? Using the miners and stuff like that. So there's definitely other ways. I mean, obviously investing in Bitcoin, 500 billion is nice, but imagine when they start buying ASICs, right, to do some of it themselves. I mean, how cheap can it get when you own the oil? Right, when you're just getting it from the ground, paying your workers and using that to mine Bitcoin with it. I mean, that's probably the cheapest way to do it.
Yeah. And also they're probably prepping too, because you have to remember who are they selling their oil to? Probably some to us, probably some to a lot of other Western countries and stuff. And if Trump does get into office, he's going to try to rely more on our reserves that we have, right, in Alaska, West Texas, Oklahoma, those regions, right? A lot more like interdependent, like within ourselves. So now what they can do now is start to plan on how to bring additional channels of income in, right? And so Bitcoin is perfect, in my opinion, for them, because it only increases in value over time. So
100%. Yeah, man. Well, we're just gonna stay in the Middle East for this one. You can now purchase property in the UAE, a rapidly growing Middle Eastern country known for cities like Dubai, Abdul Dhabi, using Bitcoin and other Abu Dhabi, using Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So this is, again, so not only are they going to make an investment, but they're actually going to let you start buying property in Bitcoin.
Yeah, so that's huge too. And I think there was another headline that came from like Saudi Arabia like just now I saw it on my timeline, that they're going to be soon accepting, they're creating this new city in the country that's going to be accepting Bitcoin as like everyday usage, right? So I mean, the Middle East is doing it right. I feel like right now, Dubai kind of put their flag in the ground and said, hey, look, if you're a crypto company builder, come over here, we're friendly. And there has been a lot of people that have moved over there, right? So this is spreading to the other parts of that region.
I mean, if you're able to buy property using Bitcoin, what's stopping them from making you able to pay taxes in Bitcoin, right? I mean, that's when it becomes real. When you can pay your taxes in cryptocurrency, that is when, I mean, it's everything. It's basically money at that point.
Yeah, no, I agree. So this is all huge news, in solidifying the, existence of Bitcoin being taken seriously as an asset. So
100%. All right, let's get into that Bitcoin fear and greed. Last week was a 50. Yesterday was also a 50. Where do you think we're at today?
Yes. Oh, the day before yesterday. The day before yesterday. Okay.
Well, last week was a 50. Yesterday was a 50. Where do you think we were going into today?
I would say 55.
Lower, man. Surprisingly lower. 48.
See, I don't know when Bitcoin started running yesterday. That's oh man, it's all good though, because eventually I'm just gonna start keep going higher and higher, and that's the times that I won't care because we're all happy that Bitcoin just keeps going up.
I want to find a live one that's like just live. You know what I mean? Like taking the same
that
thing.
That would be dope.
I'm gonna look for it. I'm sure there's something out there like that. But let's get into that Bitcoin price action brought to you guys by the great guys at BitPerp. BitPerp is going to be one of the leading leverage trading exchanges on Bitcoin. You're going to be able to 100x Mr. Yen, who was running hard. Imagine putting 100x on Mr. Yen at 6 cents and watching it run to 18 cents. How rich you would be But if you watched it go the other way, you'd be poor. So you gotta be very careful with leverage. But it is awesome having the tools and things, and places to go for it. And BitPerp's going to be servicing the entire Ordinal community, whether that's fractal stuff, rune stuff, BRC-20 stuff. They're going to be the leading place to do all the leverage trading, in my opinion. Very excited for them. But if you're not a good trader like myself, you can take advantage of their paper trading contest where you can earn points. And we all know what points are for, right? We're going to be getting amazing things come from BitPerp, whether it's passes and maybe potentially a coin. Not saying it is, but not saying it's not. But very excited for BitPerp.
Yep. And I do see some BitPerps in the chat. Are we running a contest today? Because I think we need to get confirmation that we get.
Yeah,
more,
let's get. We're not going to do it today and tomorrow. We're going to get confirmation on them on Wednesday, and then potentially the day of launch, maybe we give away like 10 or something crazy.
Yeah, we could probably do something like that. But
yeah.
All right, guys. But before we get into the Bitcoin price action brought to you guys by BitPerp, if you're on the YouTube side, guys, please smash that like for us. It helps a ton with the algorithm. And then subscribe if you're not subscribed and turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. And then on the X side, hit that like as well and share this space so we can onboard and educate as many people as possible to the Bitcoin ecosystem. Well, let's take a look here, guys. All right. Honestly, not too much to say except for up only is what it's been since after, I would say midday, probably towards the end of the evening yesterday. You can see Bitcoin really started taking off over here. We were at 62.5 and it's been just this uptrend, kind of flag, building that pole and then the flag and then another pole, hopefully the flag. Guys, I believe we have possibly started the October trend, right? So Shizzy and I was talking before the show, and we possibly think that the public or the retail whales and stuff are trying to front run possibly the results of November 5th. I don't know though, but at the end of the day, I've been calling this anyways towards the end of October, saying that I do feel like we're gonna have a bullish October. But if you take a look here, you can see that we've been in oversold on the stochastic RSI on the hour chart for a while since late yesterday, and then or overbought. Sorry, I should say overbought. So there's probably going to be some pullback, and that's fine. It's just how long does the pullback last? Is it going to be a deep pullback? I don't think we'll see anything super deep. This MACD is showing strength, very very good strength here with the buy pressure still. The blue and orange line still has a good amount of separation here. So I think, we'll probably see some pullbacks that are natural with the pendulum swing. So be careful with those, but I don't see, I just feel like this is kind of our October moment, the start of it. We'll see though. And then, so the second half of today, probably some pullback between like mid 65,000 to possibly reach into the 66, like 66.5. But I think this uptrend continues. You can see, and this gives me more confidence in that on the 8-hour chart, which gives you more of a weekly forecast, maybe week and a half with the 8-hour. Same thing, dude. This is looking very, very bullish. You can see the MACD looks really strong here. It was weakening a little bit, and then it popped right back up. It had its pullback moment here and popped right back up. It has a strong green candle here. So, I expect this kind of uptrend with small to possibly medium-sized pullbacks for the rest of the week and a half, finishing off the month of October. I think we can officially say, well, maybe let's give it a couple more days, then we can officially say it. But I think we're going to get there. So that's what I'm seeing, guys. So right now, I'm feeling a little bit of anxiety because I feel like we're entering this Q4 moment that we had last year, to where you're making money left and right, but you need to make some good decisions. And so I was letting Shizzy know, I was like, my anxiety is kind of coming back, man. He's like, yep, I can see it. So
because the big rule of thumb is every decision has a consequence, right? Every single decision, no matter big or small. If you put like $100 in something and it runs to 500 and you sell it, and then it goes to $1,000 or something like that, then it's like, oh no. So every single decision you make, you have to be thinking about it right now. Like, you have to be thinking about exactly what you want to do and how do you want to achieve your goals, and make small decisions in order to get there, whether that's buy, sell, or do nothing, because do nothing is also a strategy. So we did have a quote by the meme god himself. He said, meme coin super cycle is happening because investing in all people. The more passionate the people, the more bullish of the asset. That wasn't the quote that I thought I grabbed.
Well,
He said something.
he said investing is all about people, is what he said.
Yeah, it's all about people. But he also had another quote, which I thought I had in here, but I wasn't what I had. Basically saying how like this it's not about buying, it's about how long you can hold. And I truly believe that is something that's so true. It's just like you have to have passion in the stuff you're holding. And if you don't, maybe it's a good idea to dump it, because you don't want to, hold something that you're not, like, you don't believe in, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I wouldn't ever hold anything like XRP or anything like that, even for a trade, because I just don't believe in it.
Yep. And I want to bring this comment from Oi up. He says, what's the point of bringing new people to Bitcoin? It's not used for means of exchange, so you just want pump the bags. So I don't know if you've ever watched our show or even know anything about the Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem, but there has been an on-chain economy that has formed on Bitcoin in the last year and a half, which is a means of exchange to where I give Bitcoin and I get back a digital asset. So you might want to watch our show more, for one, and then do a little bit more research in the Bitcoin Ordinal and digital asset economy.
Yeah, bro, you're missing out. You're missing out on huge gains if you are one of those ETH maxis who watches Bankless and doesn't really pay attention to what we have going on over here. Because we have, we're gonna have the biggest ecosystem bust, for lack of better words. We're gonna explode over here, guys.
Break out.
We're gonna break out. We're gonna bust all over everything.
Whoa. Goodness.
All right, let's get into that roll call. Let's see who's here, because it is important to be here every single day. And first is first. And I am so happy to say this name being number one, because it's been a long time. One of our mods, Yasher, is number one today. First is first, and that means everything. So shout out to Yasher. He said, "Thou shall hodl." And that's from the book of Yasher. So you guys need to go cop that. Fixed is here. Tim Baker, AOD Art, my guy, another one of our mods. Chief Axel, Mr. Hanky, the Christmas Pooh. He loves me and I love you. Claudia Yu is here. Lackey Lukey with his Billy Cat, looking amazing on the moon. PJNZ here. He said, "I'm ready to explode." Hell yeah. Webdro says, "Or Revolution and the Heroes." Shout out to the super fan, man. Congratulations. That dude is racking in dough,
dude.
Man.
Like so this is his second competition he's won, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We were a part of the first ones, and like we would have probably been judges for this if we would have went.
Yeah.
So, almost done. 71 is here. Danny Boy, another one of our mods. He said, "I faded Gizmo because of the fees. Laughing my ass off." Yeah, dude, it happens. It happens to the best of us. I faded it as well. Mempool Punk is here. Ordinals Chips and Ordinal Sweets back to back. The brothers of destruction. Shout out to those guys, man. We have Rick G says, "Long live Merlin Mondays." Yes, today is Monday, so we're gonna have the Merlin team on a little later, around 12 o'clock Eastern time. So tune in for that. Later today, we're gonna have Jeff on as always. Steamy J is here. Joko is here. Cheedy is here. Akila is here. Shout out to you. Vidal Bravo is here with a GM. Shout out to you, my friend. Inagi is here. Shout out to you. And then we have Kryptonize.btc. What's up, Shizzy? What's up, Kryptonize? No is here. Ant-Man is here. Real AGI is here. Bitcoin Punks equivalent. Natcats equals super. Yeah, I
asymmetric upside.
Yeah, those words are too big for me. Coach Katz is here. Almost done again. Mats is here. Oi. Shout you out again. Thank you so much for coming. Reziak is here. Cash Cats, Coach Cats, we get to call him here. Shout out to our guy right there. KDN, Gomo, Space Monkey. I've been here all last week, and you're continuing the fun. Shout out to you. Yasher says Saudi Arabia, futuristic city. Neom will be the first city that Bitcoin is going to be used for buy and sell exchange of daily goods.
That's what I was talking about. Yasher, gotcha. Always on top of it.
Always, man. Happy Homer. Shout out to you, my friend. And PZ sending the positive vibe. Shout out to every single one of you guys who make roll call every single day. 300 people watching right now. Appreciate every single one of you guys.
Yep. That was a great roll call, man. You guys are showing up each and every day, no matter if it's rain, snow, shine. Doesn't matter. Obviously, today's a great day for Bitcoin, but you guys are showing up.
It's a good day to be in a Bitcoin, but it's an even better day to be in the Bitcoin ordinal ecosystem, and it's about to explode. We're going to give you guys what we think are our top 10 ordinal plays.
Yes, sir. You want to jump into that right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, let me bring up the... Yeah, so we noticed that runes were obviously running. So you guys have noticed that with us, especially if you've been with us at least for the past 2 weeks. But we also noticed that like some of these profits are flowing into the ordinal collections as well. And this is natural. This happened last time too as well, last Q4. So Shizzy and I came up with a top 10. There's a couple that we didn't agree on, but not too many. I would say there was literally only 2. But how do you want to do this? You want to seesaw it, or do you want to just go from down up? Because that might be good to start at 10. How do you want to do it?
Yeah, let's go 10 and then work right down to 1.
Okay. All right, cool. Okay, so we'll start with number 10, guys. So don't get upset at us. We know that like the ordinals overall community, like this can be really cultish and tribal, and that's why we actually love it, is because the passion is there. But this is kind of based off of what's been happening, I think, the past like 2 months, 2.5 months, right? Okay. So, all right, number 10, we will start there, and we start with Based Angels, which is ranked number 4 right now. So, you know, we thought about putting this in a little bit earlier, or at least I did, just because we have heard, you know, of Based Angels like multiple times on our timeline, but it kind of fades away. And I'm not crazy about Based Angels, but like we couldn't ignore them. But so that's why we did put them at number 10. I think they do have strength. You can see they're up 57%, almost 58% today. But what do you think about Based Angels? Why do you feel like they belong first in the top 10? And then maybe why didn't you move them up a little bit higher?
Yeah, for me, it was really between them and the Taproot witches, right? I definitely to see a lot of people having a PFP. I think the PFP on Twitter, really like it's a lot. It's a lot of people that have it. There's a 5,000K collection. Yeah, I think it definitely deserves to be in the top 10. I mean, people are probably pissed that it is 10 in the top 10, right? But I just don't really know too much about it. I just see them around.
Yeah. Oh man, our boy Danny Boy is scolding us here. He says you better have Taproot Witches if you got Based Angels. Well, I don't think you're gonna be very happy. No, yeah, I don't think you're gonna be very happy about that. Okay, so I think that's fair. You know what you you know, the points you brought up. You know, the PFP does matter, but at the same time, also kind of like what's been happening, who's behind it, and all these things, and but yeah, so number 10, Based Angels, is where we have that collection. All right, so moving on to number 9. So we might get some flack for this one too, being a little bit lower than maybe what people think it should be. But we put Nat Cats at number 9. And for me, the reason why I think it's not a little bit higher is because it hasn't been really talked about as much on my timeline. I do see a lot of community, you know, still having the PFP, but Nat Cats in general haven't been a big part of the timeline discussion, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm not looking for it. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, they got the Black Runner, right? Big presence, you know, big voices in the space, so they're going to be top. They're the first, you know, DMT Nat collection. Yeah, I think you have to put them in the top 10. I think number 9 is like perfect for where they should be, because like you said, they're not being as talked about as much as they were. DMT and TAP is kind of, I mean, you know, I'm seeing a little bit of I guess people are getting a little irked that the conference wasn't as successful as we thought it was going to be, because we just don't see anything, right? If they come out with something where you can trade these in like high pace environments or something using ICP, you just don't know. I'm just hoping that, you know, being a TAP collection, that we do see something different over there that could set the Nat Cats apart from any ordinal collection, normal ordinal collection. Uh-oh. You're on mute there.
Oh, sorry about that. So right now the floor is at 0.147. Do you feel like this is a good price to get in at with Nat Cats?
I think that's a little bit overvalued, in my opinion. I think that, you know, I think everything changes on the 21st, and if we get no information about like anything new, then I don't even know if this is really worth buying here. I think you might be able to get it like point oh one or maybe lower.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there wasn't, maybe I wasn't looking myself, but I didn't feel like there was like a bunch of opportunities to grab this, like in terms of the price falling back too much. I did remember maybe like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, it got to
Yeah.
0.011 or something. But yeah, I didn't have interest in grabbing one at that time. Okay, so you brought up a good point, you know, like with TAP and some people saying it's a little underwhelming in terms of the conference, but
Yeah.
there was definitely positive feedback as well. So it was a mixed bag. What happens if the TAP ecosystem isn't as robust? Does DMT break off? Because they do have something in terms of like the theory behind it, right? Wouldn't you agree there?
Yeah, I think DMT is just gonna be Tap's version of Ordinals, right? I mean, that's what it kind of feels like, and it's really gonna live and die by how Tap does. If you see the Tap token, you know it's gonna come out at $3.33. If you see the Tap token go to $4 or $5, then I think that brings the entire ecosystem with it. But if it comes out and it's lackluster, I think they could really affect what happens with Natcats and the DMT projects.
Yeah. Yeah, I disagree. I do think like DMT actually is a large part of the TAP ecosystem, like a large part of it, and I think that it could continue on its own journey.
Yeah.
If something were to happen, look, like we're excited for the 21st because we want to see the TAP token drop and then the swap get dropped and all these things. So we're excited for it. We're just kind of prepping in case we don't know. So, but okay, so 10.
I
Go ahead.
completely disagree with that, by the way. I completely disagree. I think it lives and dies by Tap. If the Tap token doesn't do well, I think DMT goes down the drain with it. For now,
So
for now.
so then does the block runners disappear then?
They don't disappear, but I just think they're gonna get less and less viewers because that's all they really do is push DMT and stuff like that.
Well, that's my point, is that they wouldn't
Yeah.
quit doing that. They would
No,
continue
no,
that
they would.
project on and try to make it, you know, as big as possible. But, you know, I guess at that point you'd be betting on the block runners if they could be successful or not.
Yeah, well, yeah, but they could always pivot, right? I mean, they don't need, you know,
Ooh, I
track
don't know, man.
indexers.
Pivoting. Well, that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
just
Like,
saying, but I'm just saying, if the Tap ecosystem is lackluster, then it's gonna be a big deal for the short to midterm.
oh yeah, for
Right?
the short
Long
term,
term,
yeah,
I think
yeah, short
I
term.
think everything will do well. But I just feel like if the 21st isn't successful, you might be able to get Natcats at 0.01, and that is why they're number 9 or number 8 instead of a lot higher.
Yeah. I think the one thing that we probably disagree on is that, like, I think that DMT can continue on its own, and you think that it can't, right?
I mean,
Is that fair?
track indexers.
I know. So they would have to figure out,
it's
you
tied.
know,
It's
they would have to
tied.
figure out the indexing on that part, you know. But anyhow, okay, cool. So number 8, let's go to number 8. Number 8 is an OG project that you know, we feel like it's solid with its early inscriptions because I think 1,000 of the 10,000 is sub 100K. But they come in and out, and they kind of have a little. They're like honey badgers. They act like honey badgers. They get angry whenever they're not getting the attention sometimes, and it comes off the wrong way. But you know, the one thing is they do consistently pop in. You know, they're just never not like just completely faded out. But how do you feel about the honey badgers, and why do they deserve an 8 rating?
Yeah, they're just OG, right? We know that Bob Bodley helped these guys with their mint and stuff, so it has that like early day presence. The art is cool. There's some of them in the collection that are on sub 100K. Not many, but there's definitely some. It's just one of those collections where I think you have to at least keep an eye on because there's some that are sub 100K.
Yeah. Yeah, so the floor is 0.0087 here. Do you think that's a solid, you know, floor, or what do you think in terms of that?
I think these are actually on the low side. I think these ones are definitely going to be a lot higher. I can see the Badgers being, you know, let's just say 0. What's the floor here? Yeah, it's like I think 0.1 should be a good floor for these guys, and then maybe the sub 100Ks being like 0.1 eventually down the line.
Yeah. Our guy Ichitoshi says Badgers used Lightning when they minted. Did they? I didn't know. I know Frogs did for sure, but that's pretty cool. Man, so there's a decent, you know, disparity between the sub 100K at 0.017, and it used to be a lot closer, but things are getting a little bit more bullish. Maybe that's why. But that's one thing I wish that like the honey badgers did was either make the entire 10K, you know, within range. But the problem is that you have 981 that are sub 100K, and then if you take that off, the rest to 10,000, so you know, barely over 9,000. Yeah, 9,000.
Yeah,
109. 1,000. Yeah, 9,019. Are like a million inscription number. You know, what I mean, it goes all the way to a million. So to me, that range is just too big. But I do hold a sub 100K because I'm a collector at heart, and so I have one of those. But anyhow. Yeah, so they are number 8. Honey badgers are number 8 right now on our list. All right, coming in at number 7 is okay. So I'm not sure if people are gonna be surprised about this, but we selected the Billy Cats at number 7. So there might be some pushback with this, but we believe that they are like the newcomer because we have been talking about, hey, there's gonna be like 1 to 3 newcomers that come in and disrupt the top collections, and so far we've seen Billy Cats do that multiple times, you know, from their launch and then recently, and it seems to be tied with Billion Dollar Cat. When Billion Dollar Cat has a lot of success, the Billy Cats also kind of go up. Could you explain why you would even put them in the top 10 and why they deserve, you know, the 7th spot above the others?
I think we both believe that Billion Dollar Cat, the rune, is going to $1 billion, right? And what does that do? We seen last week alone when when Billion Dollar Cat jumped up, you know, 150%. What that did for the Billy Cats, it not only was it everywhere, like everyone was starting to put these as, you know, a PFP. You had this as a PFP months ago, right? But now you're seeing more and more Billy Cats as PFPs. I see more Billy Cats PFPs than I see Nat Cats, honestly. And again, that is big for me. The more I see a PFP on Twitter, that just shows me these people really, really, you know, they like not only like the art, but they're using this image to represent themselves, and that's a big deal. So that's another reason why. And I do think, you know, Billionaire Cat's going to fly, and it's going to fly with it.
Yeah, and the art is cool, man. Like, you know, I do like the art. I think outsiders like the art when they see it, right? And because it, you know, actually is decent art, right? And then you have the Bitcoin B with the brandability. You know, it has taken a hit though, because it was the biggest gainer a week ago. I think it, like you said, it went up almost 300% or something like that, 280. But we're sitting at 0.00293 right now. Is that a good entry price, or would you wait a little bit longer for it to pull down further?
Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of them, and I have them staked in the for transparency. I have them staked in the fluid vault. So I'm holding these long term. I have no interest in selling these. And right now, I think I mean, this is an amazing price. I mean, I averaged mine between, you know, 0.001 and 0.002. So I mean, do I think it gets back down there? Maybe, but if not, I mean, obviously this is a good price. Not financial advice whatsoever, but.
Yeah, I do think the momentum's definitely picking up, and then like we said, you know, Billion Dollar Cat Runes token has that cult community as well. And Ishitoshi, our guy again, says those Billy glasses and t-shirts were everywhere in Amsterdam. So, you know, love it or hate it, it kind of, you know, benefits from the performance of Billion Dollar Cat as well. You know, so that's the reason why we put it here at number 7, right there.
Okay.
All right, moving right along here. Number 6 is the Pizza Ninjas. I don't know how people feel about this, but like, you know, you can't deny that Trevor and his team has done a great job in terms of like curating a community and really making them feel special. Look, I even went to the Pizza Ninjas masquerade party. I don't even hold a Pizza Ninja, but I was able to go to it in Singapore, even though I was only there for 7 minutes. I was literally running, going, I gotta go live. She's just gonna start without me. But every event that I've been to that I know that Trevor's going to be at, there's a Pizza Ninjas event. And, man, that I think the community really loves that. Right. Yeah. So, you know, they're at number 6, so they don't break the top 5, but they could be very easily interchangeable with like number 4 or 5, in my opinion. Well, probably number 5. But, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it is Trevor, right? It's the same reason why Dog's number one, because it has Leonidas. Trevor's a big voice in the space. Trevor's going to be doing cool things. Trevor's rich, right? So he's not putting out Pizza
RAF.
Ninjas to make money, right? He's putting out Pizza Ninjas to build a community. No, I truly believe that. I don't think he's in it for the money for this one in general. I think he invests in a lot of Bitcoin ordinal companies, and that's how he's going to make his money. Pizza Ninjas is just a way for him to kind of give back, it seems like. And I could be wrong about that, but that's what it feels like. And owning one of these is, I mean, he's been giving back party after party, boat rides, it's all coming out of his pocket, right? At the end of the day. And for these people who own the Pizza Ninjas.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the project probably has a treasury, and I actually saw them at the yacht boat too.
Yeah.
He has a I think a team of 3 that's like close there. So they're constantly strategizing, and they obviously had a charge for the mint and stuff like that. But yeah, so good job for him. And in some people might say, oh, we don't love the influencers or the big people, but at the end of the day, some of them do contribute to building the overall ecosystem community, right? So you got to tip your hat to people like that, in my opinion. All right, we're getting into the top 5. All right, number 5 here is the Bitcoin Frog, sitting at 0.047. So you want to start off with why you think the frogs are at number 5, and I'll follow up.
History, right? This is one of the first collections. They use the Lightning Network to mint these. It's just OG as it comes. Ribbit was like the word for 3 months after they were minted. They had their ups, their downs, their ups, and then downs again. Can this get back to all-time high at 0.5? I think so. I truly think so. But it's really going to need a community to be built around it, of newer people to come in and kind of see what the other people saw. But it might not. So that's why I think 5 is a really good spot for the frogs, because it just has that OG vibe, and on top it has potential for newcomers to come in and really get them at a really cheap level here, because I think these are really cheap for what I think they should be.
Yeah, and if the Bitcoin ordinals, like the collections become, or the overall collections have this like collectability type of environment that I believe it's gonna have, then there's no way that you can bet against the frogs, in my opinion, because like you said, the history behind it, like 5 years down the road, people are gonna be like, remember the frogs? Remember what's his name? Jack Levin used to be in the frogs spaces all the time going,
Yeah.
ribbit, right? And then like you had Tendy going in there, and all those people, like there was a gang of people that were really pushing the frogs hard. And so I think they definitely have that collector's culture. And so I do think that they will bounce back this bull run. But we'll see.
Do you think they hit their all-time high for this cycle?
It depends on where Bitcoin's at, right? Like if Bitcoin's like at some astronomical number, then it might be hard. But if Bitcoin's at like 150,000, then possibly it could get to 0.5. I don't know, man. This is gonna be really interesting. I think it's gonna be a good case study to see like how the old ordinals projects bounce back during the peak of the bull.
I think this hit their all-time high Bitcoin valuation for the cycle, but I don't think it hit its all-time high dollar valuation for the cycle. I think it surpasses the dollar amount that it was. I think it was at like I want to say 30,000, but I don't think it'll ever get back to that 0.5, because I think Bitcoin's going to go 200-300K, which makes that 0.5 like 175,000, right? So I don't think it hits that Bitcoin evaluation ever again, but I think it does hit that dollar valuation.
So maybe like 0.3 or something that equates to
0.25. Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. Number 4. All right, guys. So the top 4 here, we're down to the top 4. And I think we missed one, but I think there's maybe a stipulation to that. And I'll talk to you about that after we're done. But number 4 comes in at OMB, Ordinal Maxi Biz. I remember when this collection first launched, and I was like, what is this ugly art? This is weird. They were inscribing them on, exotic sats and stuff like that. And I remember the artist like sitting on this cliff on his car or something weird. And then next thing you know, everybody wants them. But they do have a, strong culture in terms of like early Bitcoin ordinal collections. ZK Shark is he is good at what he does. He comes out and he pumps the collection, and then he goes into his cave for a while and then comes back out. They have 4 different colors of eyes now, I think, right? Like they have blue, red, green, and now orange. And so there's like 4 different tiers of value. And so I think that was also probably pretty smart, how they did that. But yeah, so they got the number 4 spot. Do you think that is, can you talk about why you think they deserve that spot?
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, I mean, they're OG on top of that, but the red eyes are, if you're rocking a red eyes on Twitter, you're showing like what the Bored Apes showed at one point, right? You're showing wealth. If you show blue eyes, the same thing. You're showing wealth. And eventually, I think these orange eyes could get to where the blue eyes, red eyes are, and then the white eyes will kind of take the orange eyes place, because that's the rumor. There's going to be a white eyes. They're going to be like another 4,800. They're probably going to be like 0.05. So the floor is definitely going to drop on these, but the floor for the orange eyes is going to rise, in my opinion. So this will be a 10K collection at the end of the day. The floor probably being 0.05 or something like that, like the frogs. But you're going to have the green eyes, the red eyes,
tiers,
the tiers just being astronomical in value.
Man, yeah, I didn't realize that they probably are trying to shoot for 10K. Man, but it's crazy. Like, how many different colors are they gonna add? We shall see.
The white is last, as I'm hearing. It's another that's gonna be 4,800.
Wow. So that's gonna be the cheapest then, for sure.
Yeah, by far.
Yeah, I mean it would be anyways, because it's the next one on the tier list. Okay, cool. So OMB gets that 4 spot. All right, guys. Number 3 is Quantum Cats.
I would say Quantum Cats Wizards. I would say this is a dual collection, but kind of the same. You know what I mean? I'd wrap everything Udi and the teams been building, and I think that's what you were saying earlier. We missed one. I think you were saying we missed the Wizards.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So I think Quantum Cats and Wizards are here.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, you'll probably say the same thing of what I'm about to say, because it's kind of similar. But anyways, Reziak, one of our RAF buddies from our community, says you got to look deeper into the collection of OMB. The floors are floors for a reason. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so back to Quantum Cats. So I didn't feel like super great having them here at number 3, but at the same time, I couldn't deny their floor price being consistent of what it's been like for the past. You know what I mean? It just has stuck there like glue, right? And Udi kind of followed. I don't know if he followed or they, both just followed each other's playbooks, but like the Pizza Ninjas type of playbook, to where like when you go to events, the Quantum Cats typically have like side events that are really solid. People love them. They're always jumping in pools and stuff like that. I didn't see an event in Singapore, but maybe because they didn't go. I'm not sure. But yeah, so, and another thing too is like they will I don't know if they're telling their community to not list them, but I've seen stuff to where like you will pay if you list your blah 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 blah. So a lot of people kind of fall into this thing of they feel like FOMO if they list their Quantum Cat, right? So they've done a great job with that. They're sitting at 0.23 though. Like even though they've been consistent at that price, do you think it deters new people to come in because the floor price has stayed there?
So for me, to answer your question, no, I think new people are gonna jump into this. Why? Because Dan Held, because of Udi, because of Eric Wall. I mean, you say these names to people around the space, and these guys are legends of Bitcoin, right? They've been Bitcoiners for 10, 15 years in some cases. With what's his name, with Dan Held. I mean, he said he's built Bitcoin in 2010, right? So it's huge with having those names involved. And not only are they building something, I mean, you got Catnip, right? Then you have, Cat VM. I mean, there's just so much stuff that can come. I mean, I obviously you're looking at it in a way of what they are now. I'm kind of looking at it and what they could be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm looking at it kind of like, I feel like the price is kind of a little bit higher, but at the same time, they have a lot of promises. But one thing, you just mentioned Catnip, these people might get the very first Catnip token airdrop to them because they hold this, right? So you never know what's going to happen, So Udi and Eric Wall and that team, they are behind the initiative of adding opcat to Bitcoin's code, right? Re-adding it back. And it seems like they have a plan of action to get there. So we'll see, though.
Yeah, think about the same thing you said. You said, you said catnip, but what about cat VM? What if it has a governance token like Merlin does, and that that is airdropped to these cat holders? I mean, I think that, like I said, I'm looking at it for where it's going to be, not where it's at today.
Yep. All right, guys, we're down to the last two, the top two that we believe have earned those spots, and this is where Shizzy and I disagreed here.
Yep.
So I'll go with my selection first in the second position, and this is where I was going to talk to you about the thing we forgot about Opium, but I think we can just plug those together.
Opium's not in my top 10, but yeah, we can definitely climp the puppets and Opium in as one collection.
So I would say, number 2 is Puppets dash Opium, because Opium benefits from Puppets, so it's always gonna be a higher floor price, so you can't really go wrong there. And Shizzy's number 2 is Node Monks. So I'll start with my reason why I put them at number 2. I put them at number 2 because I feel like Node Monks is has the entire collection within that very, very early range of inscription numbers, and the art is unique, right? Like there's nothing like it. Plus, I mean, I feel like Raktoshi definitely still has his hands on this, and he knows how to keep sustainability. People are going to scream, watch trading this, watch trading that. Well, they're not the only collection that does that. Like there's multiple, right? And they have sustained a really good floor, and they didn't get the highest, but they did get the highest in terms of 10K collection, in terms of the floor price, because I think their floor price got to 0.8 something at one point, 8.5 maybe. For a 10K collection, that's pretty good pre-peak bull market. So that's why I ended up putting Puppets at number 2 and saving that number 1 spot for Node Monks. What about you? Why'd you put Node Monks at number 2?
Yeah, no Monk is number 2, obviously, because it's a sub 100K collection. Well, most of them are. The other ones are right there, if not there. It's made by Raktoshi, who I think is a bigger part of Ordinals than a lot of other people do, than Casey denies. I think he had a bit his hands in it. I mean, I heard this rumor way back when that the reason why Casey hates him is because he screwed him out of the No Monkey money when Raktoshi sold it to the team who has it now. But the reason why I put Puppets ahead of Node Monkeys is because you have Farmer Joe, you have Anna, you have the Decentralized, you have a lot of big community with big voices, when you don't really see that with Node Monkeys, right? I do think Node Monkeys should be the top collection if they had a bigger community, but community matters. If I go to my timeline right now, I'd find 10 Puppets before I found 5 Node Monkeys. And again, that's a big deal to me. And look at the volume. We're seeing 6.8 Bitcoin volume in over the last day, while No Monkeys is sitting at 3.2. Again, that should show you that. And it seems like every time the No Monkeys surpass the Puppets come back stronger. Like we saw it earlier. No Monkeys had the edge, and now Puppets had the edge again. And this is really fun to watch, Puppets versus No Monkeys. I think it's going to be something that definitely has a battle to the end of who wins the cycle as the number 1 collection, but it's going to be between these two. And I think it's going to be Puppets. They have that South Park feel. They have, they have that ketamine fun. It's funny. It's stupid. It's autism. Like, it's just cool,
Yeah, I just feel like the Puppets community, they end up like dividing up their liquidity within their community a ton, right? And I think that's one of the reasons why every time they try to challenge Node Monks eventually comes back over the top. Every other time, like they've never sustained being ahead of Node Monks. And to talk about community, I agree with you with that. Like, their community, they're the most cultish community there is in NFTs right now. Like, not NFTs, digital artifacts and NFTs combined. But Node Monks, they have like almost kind of like a kind of business like mentality with their community. You have Good Things, you have a couple other people hosting spaces, and stuff like that. So I don't know, for me, I think the the collector in me at heart is choosing Node Monks to be that #1 spot, but you can't deny the cultish community that the puppets have. I just worry about them, you know, really like diluting their liquidity in other things like, you know, Gizmo. You know, for example, you know, Gizmo took liquidity from the pups token, you know, in my opinion, and probably some other projects as well. And they, you know, and a lot of those derivatives, they die. The only ones that stay true are pups and puppets, really. So,
would you rather no monkey or puppet? Be honest.
I would rather Node Monk for long term. I know that probably I'm gonna get some pushback for that. But
yeah. Oh crap! We have a super chat here from Ernesto Gonzalez. He's not bullish enough on Mr. Yagobi coins. I don't know if you know, but you have a coin that's minting on Fractal. It's a BRC-20.
100% not me that launched this at all. But you know, yeah, that's not me. But thank you, Mr. Ernesto Gonzalez, for the super chat there. And you know, whoever launched that, I can't like, you know, shill that, and I don't, you know, I'm not going to, but I guess I kind of feel flattered that someone launched the token after my name, though. But anyhow,
I mean, there's no Mr. Shizzy. I mean, I'm kind of sad.
I'm sure I'm sure there are. I'm sure there is Mr. Shizzy somewhere out there.
All right. So that is our top 10. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. You know, we that's just our opinions. 100%, you know, do not take that as gospel to go buy something, but definitely that's just what we're thinking. We're OGs in the space, and we've been watching for a long time.
Yeah,
but I know it's good.
Go ahead. I was gonna say that, you know, that's our top 10 now, like heading into, you know, this Q4, which it seems like is going to be a bullish time period. But the peak for me is going to be either spring or fall of next year. We'll see. If it's a super cycle, then it'll probably be the fall. If it's just kind of more of a normal cycle, then it's going to be the spring. But that's when we're going to see the all-time highs of these. But for Q4, we'll see an all-time high, a short-term version of it, right? But yeah, so that list can change.
100%. Jump into some stuff before Merlin Monday here. Gizmo, Imaginary Cat, Rune 123452. I do love the number 123452. But Puppets community pushing hard for Gizmo, like you said, and you know they are, you know, really pushing this. They're trying to get this above the original, right, which is Pups. I don't know, but CoinList did list Gizmo. CoinList does list
CoinX.
CoinX, yeah, sorry. CoinX lists Gizmo. They list everything. You can buy Glizzy there and pretty much anything. But what do you think about a Gizmo? And potentially it could have its ordinal. They're saying that they're going to be whitelisting holders of Puppet, MaxiBiz, Puppets, Opium, and Gizmo coin holders for this PFP.
Yeah, so I'm curious, why did they choose Puppet, MaxiBiz out of the, I don't know, 15 other derivatives that were created? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it was so the puppet, the person who drew all the puppets, he drew Puppet MaxiBiz. It's all his collections.
Gotcha. So the other ones aren't necessarily his.
Drawn by him. They're just derivatives from someone else. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I think that in the short term, this can maybe hurt some of the other. We saw it with the Pups token get drawn down a bit, but like, you know, if Bitcoin gets to, let's say by the December 31st, Bitcoin gets to $110,000 or something. Let's just say, I'm throwing it out there. It might not even get close. It might run past it. Who knows? But I don't think it's going to matter at that point, because there's going to be people that come into the ecosystem, you know, and from outside and stuff like that. So, but short term, it'll probably, you know, annoy some people, but maybe not. I don't know. There's people making lots of money off of this token. I can tell you that.
Oh, 100%. Yep. You know, my thing is like, so we saw 14-15% come from Pups, and we saw this go up like 100-200% in the last day or so. So that's the thing right there, is like, to your point, what you said kind of about the you know, the ordinal, but this is about the rune as well. There you're seeing I mean, there's no new liquidity in the space. There's none. It's just people who had Bitcoin on the sideline. They're pumping in right now. I don't really see any newer people. I mean, we do see here and there. We see some Bored Ape guys putting Billy Cat eyes on their stuff, but like, there's no real new people. I don't see any Chinese writing or anything like that really entering the space. You're just seeing money flow from one project to the other. Do you think Gizmo could take another 20% from Pup's token?
Well, it seems like they already tried to kind of get that back up. Whoa, dang, never mind. It's back down to $173 million market cap. So
Yeah,
it has
dropping.
and it's not just pups that it's pulled from. I'm sure some's pulled from BDC, $1 billion cat, and some's pulled from a dog probably too. But like it's definitely it's definitely making a move. I'll tell you that. Like it's making a move up. The difference is that it does have like a cool narrative to it, being like a pup's cat or whatever, like a pet to like the pups. But we'll see how high it can get. I don't think it will ever pass Pups World Peace, because that's the original, right? And that would probably make some of the OGs that just invested in it a long time ago upset.
100%. Last thing here, the total market cap of all rooms continues to climb and has just passed 1.5 billion. That's pretty insane. 1.5 billion. I mean, we're talking 6 months, 7 months. I think 2 months ago it was like less than $500 million, and then we probably gained $1 billion in the last like a month and a half, which is pretty wild.
Yeah. I mean, I knew that there was going to be this, run eventually, because it's like this, right? Like when runes ran, a lot of people got burnt, and then they just left the ecosystem from people that came outside, and then there was like this kind of FUD that was happening with it, but then there was the believers that stuck with it, right? And then I just felt like, because it didn't do what it was supposed to in the beginning, and who created it and the community behind it, that there would be pent up demand. And that's what I think we're seeing right now is just the beginning part of that. So
yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think this is, rooms we can run to 10 billion by the end of the year, especially when we get some like pump fund type of stuff happening. And there's rumors of that happening, and we're really excited to see what comes from that. But if you can see some like other ecosystems projects coming this way, I mean, who knows? If somebody from a Ethereum project wants to say, hey, we're migrating to a rune, what the on-chain monkeys did with the ordinals, you could see stuff like that, and we could go to 2-3 billion in the next week or so. So I'm really excited for this ecosystem. I'm really excited to be a part of it.
No, I agree. And I, heading into this bull market, I think there was one consistent narrative that what was new. And if you try to think about it, like, what was it? Last cycle, it was Ethereum and DeFi, right? And Ethereum allowed that to happen. Cycle before that was the IDO craze, right? And this cycle, we were like, what was it? And then like you and I were like, we think it's going to be this Bitcoin ecosystem. Let's start covering that. And nothing has overtaken that. I don't think there's nothing that it's the strongest narrative still. So that's why I think that you're absolutely right. There can be people that end up bridging and crossing over from other chains, but it's going to be something that's more robust. And I think the Bitcoin ecosystem, BTC-Fi and Bitcoin ecosystem can kind of merge a lot of these multi-chain type of approaches.
Yeah, I agree. All right, guys, it's Monday. It's 12 o'clock. You know what that means. It's Merlin Monday, your #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. Merlin, they're building over there, guys. You might not hear a lot about them. They're not out there, crazy tweeting about what they're building, but it's happening. And if you look a little deeper, you really get to see the amazing builders that are there. And that's why we want to highlight them every single Monday. Today, we have some amazing guests. We got, Ben Schiller. We got Mr. J. We're Juga now. And of course, we have Jeff. Really excited for today's event.
Yep. So let's get it started, and then Ordinal Hub will be here a little bit later. But let's get it kicked off by bringing Jeff up on stage to give us some updates on the chain, because I think there's some updates that he wants to talk about here. So let's bring him up. Hey, Jeff, welcome back to Merlin Monday, presented by Ordinal Revolution.
Yo, what's up, guys? I think today is like Bitcoin Monday, right?
Yes, Bitcoin Monday. I love it.
Yeah, today is definitely Bitcoin Monday, and happy to be here. Today I can stay around for longer. I cancel every meeting after this. And I will just go over the updates really quick. First, I think last week the US exchange Kraken listed us as perps. I think spot, other US exchanges are coming as well. That just means, we go through the compliance work with the US, law firms and stuff, to make sure this is not security, this is not, this is legit, everything, just right. So yeah, so definitely we're working on more exchanges, and I cannot talk that in the show, but yeah, we're working on that.
Awesome.
The second thing, the second thing is we're going to have some campaigns. We're going to have the Bitmap campaign, and also we're going to have the Telegram campaign. So first, the Bitmap, the alpha version, V0.4 is live. 0.5 will be live this week. So there are like lots of updates there. Some users, in the Bitmap community have tried them, but we're going to have a campaign like we did before. I think before we gave out like 4.2 million Bitmap token and 100K US dollars. So we're going to have more. We're going to double down that to make sure people understand what Bitmap is, to have experience in the Bitmap game. And I think Bitmap token is doing very well on layer 2. Always like 30% premium on layer 1. There are lots of exchanges interested, so you guys probably see something coming in the very near future. And the second thing is the Telegram campaign. So I actually just had a call with the the team, the head of Bitcoin OKX wallet. When you hear OKX wallet of Bitcoin ecosystems, you probably cannot connect them with Telegram, right? But yeah, the thing is, they're 100% bullish on Telegram. So and I think we are the only team that have the kind of vision in the Bitcoin system ecosystems right now, is to bring massive adoption to Bitcoin. We want more new users, we want more new utility, new liquidity, and massive adoption of Bitcoin assets. And I think we're going to, one direction is to get all these dApps, all these protocols going live on Telegram, working with OKX wallet, working with UX UI wallet, working with Tomo wallet, and all these other grid builders. So I think the two major campaigns we're going to have next is one is for Bitmap and one is for Telegram. And there are lots of incentives there. Most of the incentives are real money. So you participate, you make money. I think last campaign of Bitmap, many people get like Bitcoin in their wallet, Bitmap token in their wallet, and this time that's something we're going to do as well. And also we're talking with lots of Bitcoin meme launchpad, not launchpad, like the pump fund kind of launchpad. Fair launch, free, getting as many as users you can, getting the allocation fair to users. So we are working with them. I think some of them are really like hard to work because they're so popular. So many chains are going after them. But yeah, I'll make sure Merlin is the is the one who gets all these builders to come and launch their product here. So yeah, that's like the basic catch up of Merlin from last week.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a lot. First, congratulations of getting the Merle token with Kraken there. I think that's a huge brand in the industry. So you guys are on OKX, Kraken, and you say you're working on more in the compliance side of things. I think that's vital, right? So glad you guys are doing that. And then it sounds like those other two updates, it sounds like with the Telegram approach and kind of like this Pump.fund platform that seems to be maybe also building on Merlin as well as maybe some other environments, is really those are the two kind of onboarding strategies that you guys are using. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, I think onboarding more users is what we need to do right now, because we all know the bull market is coming, but we want to make sure more and more users, heard of Bitcoin assets, runes, ordinals, BRC-420 before the bull market, right? Because like right now, all of them are hearing news from Solana, from Base, from Suisse network, like from Ethereum all the time. But if they're not exposed to Bitcoin assets when the bull market comes, we're just not going to have many users like we expected.
Gotcha. If I'm somebody who's like Telegram, isn't that where I just send messages back and forth? Could you explain how Merlin is going to utilize Telegram?
Yeah, so right now, I think there are over 1 million mini apps on Telegram. So if you try one, like, mini app is not like the bot, I think some people try, the Telegram bot, but Telegram bot is still like messaging in the group chat, right? or in the private chat. But media app is something you click and you can open a media app in the Telegram. It can be a game, it can be a 2D game, 3D game, it can be an exchange, it can be a launch pad, it can be a lending protocol. If you're trying to lend some money, I think Avalon is going to do their media apps on Telegram as well. So it serves the mass adoption, and these users are not the same users that we see every day in the Bitcoin or Ethereum ecosystems. These users, they know something about crypto, but they don't know enough. They're still trying to figure out, how to get their fiat money, ramp into crypto, how to get their first, crypto credit card, how to buy the first token. So that's why we're working with the wallet first, because with mini app wallet, I think the OKX, wallet is on Telegram. The Tomo wallet is on the UX UI is on, and they are all having Bitcoin network. That's one thing, I'm excited because, they all see the potential in Bitcoin. So they all support Bitcoin, ordinals, and ruins. That's the first thing. Second, to get all these users, so for example, right now we are working with 12 Telegram apps. The one with the least user amount is 1 million. The one with most user amount is 45 million users.
Wow.
So imagine these users open a wallet on Merlin, get I don't know, some sats, some ordi, some dog, some row in the wallet, and they see this wallet, and assets every day, and they see the price going up. One day, part of them will be interested, will be, I'm trying to dig more, I'm trying to learn more. And also on Telegram, it's the easiest way for them to learn more because they don't need to understand what's going on with UTX or PSBT. They just go, like OKX wallet, like the last year, right? Lots of users are brought by OKX wallet. These guys, they never use like Xverse or Unisat, but these guys are the buying power for the bull run for BRC-420 last year.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a ton of sense to me. So really love those two strategies. I think it's, definitely going to work, especially, people, if you remember from previous bull runs, like those are the people that actually end up coming into the space, right? Is that they, once Bitcoin has already ran up past its all-time high, retail users come in through like centralized exchanges and stuff. So this could be a great avenue for that. Okay, so last thing I want to touch on before we invite the first builder up is you talked about the campaign with bitmap.game. I'm going to share my screen here so I can kind of show people where they can participate in this. Okay, so if you go to bitmap.game, you can log in with your wallet. And so, to earn the Bitmap token, you have to stake Merl. Is that correct?
Yes, and not only Bitmap token, you can earn like other tokens as well.
Gotcha. So if I just stake Merl, then I earn Bitmap token and other tokens, or do I have to do something else to earn the other tokens as well?
No, you don't have to do anything. You can stake, and you just earn on daily basis. And
Gotcha.
also, if you stake, you can unstake anytime. So you don't have to wait for like an hour or 10 minutes. You get your token back like immediately.
Gotcha. So they're not locked up, basically.
No, not locked up.
Awesome. All right, guys. So that is how you do it, and you can earn the Bitmap token, which is getting more and more popular. The holder count is growing more and more. So super excited about that. And this is the version 0.04. And you said 0.05 is coming soon?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I have one more question for Jeff, you don't mind? So, Jeff, we talked about the Kraken thing, absolutely huge, massive, but it's perp. Do you see them doing spot listing? And like, my second question would be like, how does that happen? Do they contact you?
Yeah. So first, all exchanges will do spot, but spot is more sensitive, so I really cannot talk that in the space. But yeah, all exchanges who are going forward, they are doing spot because with spot that means we are entering their custodial service. We have to get our tokens in their custodial, in their custody, and also that means we go through everything their legal team, compliance team, working with us. So yes, basically every exchange in the world, major exchange in the world, they're chatting with us. We have contact, we have daily progress. But the thing is, right now, it's it's hard to get on every country because every country have a different, compliance job to do. But we're going for the major ones, like US, Korea, and Europe. So we will see some big news coming. Yeah.
Awesome.
So have you ever spoken to Coinbase? Just conversation, say hello.
Yeah, we speak to everyone. Yeah, in the industry.
Awesome.
I see you, Shizzy, trying to be sneaky. Now, one of the things I noticed though is I love that you guys are giving Merl, the main token of the chain, more utility other than governance, right? In terms of staking on bitmap.game or and stuff like that. Will there ever be more utility or any thought of adding more utility for Merl, or is that kind of you guys are happy with where it is?
We're definitely not happy with Merl like utility right now. We are not happy with the price, so everyone is not happy with the utility of Merl right now. So I think we are putting Merl in the Bitmap game. We are putting Merl. If there's any a big Bitcoin pump fund coming to Merlin, we will make sure Merl is like their priority to giving utilities for. And also there are lots of people talking about spending Bitcoin as gas fee on Merlin Chain. They want to have Merl to participate, but I don't know. We are trying to figure all the ways to give more utilities. And also the POS system is coming, so with Merl you can be sharing the revenue of the network. So I think definitely along the way, but our style, we don't want to get this hype on day one and then make everyone to buy. We want to have some legit like products. We want to have some legit the user activities to actually give this network more energy, more vibes, more users, and then eventually people will realize the value behind the token.
Yep.
Love it.
Perfectly said. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what other utilities come. That gas, use as gas for the pump fund thing really caught my attention just now. So I'd love to hear updates if that ever becomes a thing there. So, okay. Well, I'm gonna keep you up here. We're gonna bring our first guest. If looks like he jumped off just now. Okay. Well, we can go Mr. J first.
Yeah.
Then. Oh, no, he's back now. So, all right, Mr. J, hold off a second. We're going to bring up Ben Schiller from Bitmap 420. There's a lot of updates from this guy. Ben Schiller, welcome back to Merlin Mondays, presented by Ordinal Revolution. How are you doing, sir? Oh, he might be trying to get his... You there, Ben?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. How are you doing?
Good. It's been a pretty festive week.
Yes, it has. Did you go to the Amsterdam event by any chance?
No, man, I'm still recovering from Singapore. That was pretty crazy with Token 2049. I saw you for like a second. It's crazy. I like took a picture of you, and then the panel that you were doing ended, and then you were like gone, man.
Oh, dude, I was actually dealing with food poisoning. I was sweating up there, not because I was nervous, but I was trying to survive and get back to my hotel room. But man, that sucks I didn't catch you. Definitely, let's try to catch each other on the next event, though, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, you did a great job hosting that panel. There were so many good tidbits in there.
Thank you so much. So what's been going on with Bitmap 420 and what's going on with Bitmap in general, man? There's a lot of, it seems like, I don't want to use the word, but D-Rama happening in the space with Bitmap, and where are you guys going with the, pretty much how Bitmap's what the future holds with it?
Yeah, it's like there's so much drama in the LBC, right? and I was going to say Billy Dolly Cat, I'm going to slip that in there. But it's just been a little bit nuts. There's been and I want to call it a schism, a break in the community, and I'll try to keep it simple and sum it up. So, just first off, Bitmap itself. Bitmap is the land in the Bitcoin metaverse. The idea is that the Bitcoin blockchain itself is a sort of digital matter. Think of it as just raw territory. So we want to build this metaverse on top of this land. The first thing that you need to do is to be able to, make sure everyone has their plot of land. And that's what a bitmap is. So you see that number.bitmap. That's just a Bitcoin block.bitmap. That's one of the beautiful simplicity geniuses of Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitmap, is that it's so simple. It's just literally a text inscription that points to a block height.bitmap. There's really only like 2 rules in Bitmap, which is another thing that's so simple. It's just block height.bitmap. And then the other thing is, if you think of, like digital real estate, it's like you take big chunks of land, you subdivide it into smaller chunks, and then that's how you make it useful. And that's built into the Bitmap protocol as well, which is called a parcel. So when you look at a Bitmap, you see all those blocks. Those are Bitcoin transactions, which you can break them out and then inscribe them separately. And now you have a smaller subdivided piece of land. That's literally the only 2 rules of Bitmap. Other than that, you can do whatever it is that you want. So the problem, first off, do you understand that part? Just want to make sure we got a little bit of background.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. And actually, if I can just use you guys as a reference, just look at that at the logo, right? Those 2 blocks in the Ordinal Revolution, those would be Bitmap parcels. You inscribe those separately. You have 2 individual pieces of land. So the problem is someone else came out recently and said, hey, we've got Bitmap parcels. And of course, everyone in the Bitmap community is like, hey, great, we've got a tool to parcel our bitmaps now. Except they're not Bitmap parcels according to the actual Bitmap white paper. So what should happen is you take this little text inscription, you put it into an inscriber, and you've got your unique piece of land. You look at it on ordinals.com or ord.io or GeniData or literally any service that you want, and you say, look, my child is owned by this parent piece of Bitmap. So we can see our whole community of land as it's sort of laid out. It's kind of like the Bitcoin land registry. And basically what's been done is that somebody's came about and said, hey, we've got Bitmap parcels, and you put them in all of those other services. And rather than see your connection directly from one point to the other, there's this little script that does not point to anything. Well, who knows what it points to, but it doesn't point to the owned piece of land. So basically somebody's interjected the script that comes in between the provenance between your child inscription and the parent inscription. And you're like, well, why would anyone want to do that? The reason you would want to do that is to make sure that everyone uses your software to know what the Bitcoin metaverse land registry is. So it's basically like an injection, if you will, to make sure that everyone who wants to take part in Bitmap has to use this new third-party piece of software, which, needless to say, that did not go over very well for a big chunk of people in the Bitmap community.
Gotcha. So is Bitmap going through its version of the block size wars, but I guess you could call it the parcel wars? Is this kind of similar to that moment?
I was having that exact same parallel. It's like the Bitcoin Cash from back in the day where, somebody comes along and says, hey, this is the real Bitmap. I'm sorry. Well, in this case, it would be, this is the real Bitmap. But back in the day, I was like, hey, this is the real Bitcoin. And I believe it was a site literally called bitcoin.com that was selling quote unquote Bitcoin, but they were really selling Bitcoin Cash, and people would go to that site. And this is a problem, actually, that we're ultimately trying to deal with here, is that people go to that site, think they bought Bitcoin. Oh my God, I got Bitcoin so cheap. And then they go someplace else and then try to use that Bitcoin. And they're like, no, dude, you got Bitcoin Cash. That's not the same. That's not the same. That's literally what we're at right now. We've got these 2 visions of what bitmaps are. One where follows the white paper, that follows the community consensus, that literally the creator of the protocol said, no, this is exactly what I meant. And then you have this other version where it's popular amongst some other people, and certain people have a voice and can be able to say, hey, no, this is the real Bitmap. And ultimately we're just going to get to a point where hopefully we either come together or the market decides or something else. But it's definitely not dull right now, that's for sure.
So the block runner basically created Bitmap Cash, is what you're saying.
I was trying to be gentlemanly here, but yeah, that's
We don't
basically
do that
it.
here. Yeah.
Well, if
we
you
call
follow,
people
we
out.
don't do that here. Okay, so if you were to follow the trajectory of the block size wars, technically, like Satoshi was stagnant, or like he was gone, and then
He was in
like
the
once the
hospital.
well, no, I mean I'm saying Satoshi
Oh,
in the block size wars, he was gone, and then once the block size wars started happening, he showed up just to kind of take a side and pick, and that's what kind of Bitoshi seems like he's done, is Bitoshi taking the role of Satoshi here.
Well, he was in the hospital for a month. The block runners forked his crap, and then he gets out of the hospital on crutches, and he finds out his parcel stuff has changed.
Yeah, it's been very, very colorful. But yeah, I think that was super helpful. That Bitoshi Nakamoto, the creator of the Bitmap white paper, came out and said just a very, very clear. So there's no ambiguity. This is exactly what the intent was, and to even to kind of jump on top of that, it's like it wasn't even necessary. I'm glad he did it, but if you just read the white paper, it's literally like 2 pages. I mean, it's like super, super simple, that gives not only descriptions, but like this is the physical format of the code. And it's like, you're either doing that or you're not doing that. It's pretty simple. It's, block height.bitmap. And then there's transaction ID.blockheight.bitmap. Actually, I'll go ahead and, I was about to say this is YouTube. I was going to say pin the tweet, but if you look at my latest tweet, you can visually see it, what the difference is, and a description of how you make those things, which is like, this is it. You're either a parent and a child, or you're not. And the reason that's so important is because that way everyone can see the Bitcoin land registry, right? It's just something so basic, so foundational, that we're all using the same terminology, so there's no confusion. And then you think, all the stuff that's going to be built on top of this, potentially, right? It's just like, all the digital land, the resources I've seen just today alone, where somebody's going to be using it as kind of like a share issuance in a property that they're creating. I'm seeing other people starting to use it for registries of other things. So there's so many applications that you can build on top of this. And the last thing that you want to do is take something that's universal, that everyone can see in terms of property rights, and then kind of put it behind a wall that you have to wear these special goggles to see. It's like completely antithetical to everything that I think a lot of us, in terms of openness and interoperability and all of the things that we love about Bitcoin, it's completely antithetical to that.
Gotcha. I'm gonna ask Jeff real quick, because he has a passion for Bitmap. He has since the beginning, in its inception. And Jeff, you don't have to pick a side or anything, because I know that you kind of have to come from this unbiased place. But if you could maybe just give your thoughts on the situation, and whatever you can in terms of your response.
I was trying so hard to not to interrupt, but I was actually like trying to ask all these details behind the stories. I know we don't have time and energy to talk about this like today, but we should get on another call to talk about this. But I really haven't followed the parcel thing on the first day, because I mean, my reason was pretty simple, because first, I love the idea of parcel. Second, the Bitmap itself, the price is still too low. So I'm trying to get these utilities and also liquidity much better, at least going back to what we had end of last year. So my effort was there. So I didn't really pay too much attention with the Bitoshi thing, with the white paper thing, with the I kind of understand the story you guys are telling, but I need more information. So probably we get on like another call to talk about this.
Gotcha. Awesome. Thanks for that insight.
Yeah, and just quickly, and I think Jeff has points to a really good example, which is, obviously, I think you see Jeff's passion for Bitmap and the metaverse as a whole, obviously with the creation of BRC-420 and Bitmap game and just all the things there. The thing is, if you're taking part in this universe that Jeff built, you know that you're taking part in Merlin Chain. Now, whether you want to be on a layer 2 or a layer 1, that's a whole separate other discussion, but that's your choice. In the same way that, at Token 2049, I met Jimmy from Uniworlds, and it's like, hey, if you're going to do Uniworlds, then you're in the fractal Bitcoin universe, and that's fine. That's your choice. I think one of the problems here is that it's not so clear that it's a choice. Like you're being sort of subsumed into this, into basically what is the tap version of what the Bitcoin metaverse is. And even that in itself is like perfectly fine. It's like, hey, we're building the Bitcoin metaverse. We think tap has some utility that you can't get otherwise. Come join us. Hey, totally cool, totally fine. But that's not what's happening here. It's like getting very, very confused in terms of what is actual bitmap versus what is a meta protocol and the benefits of using that. And I think that lack of clarity, that's causing a lot of problems.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so let's see what happens. Batoshi did come out and he did speak up, and let's see if he has that same effect of being, the initial creator of Bitmap, like Satoshi was of Bitcoin. To see if he has that similar effect. Only time will tell. But if you could give us some updates on Bitmap 420, you obviously have a lot of involvement with BRC-420 and some involvement with Merlin Chain as well in terms of what you're building. If you could update the audience on what that is, what your recent updates are.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously I'm BRC-420 till I die here. We're going to get the Bitcoin metaverse protocol using objects into as many different places as possible. And that's one of the things I'm super excited about, particularly with parcels. I think, to Jeff's point, I think one of the things that parcels do that Bitmap itself doesn't do is it creates the ability for more community. So, for example, if I was, talking to a meme coin community and they wanted to build onto the Bitcoin metaverse and have all of their BRC-420 objects and whatever it is, a dog or a cat, or to get, let's say, 3,000 bitmaps right next to each other in close proximity, that's pretty difficult. But you can get one bitmap and then parcel it out, and now you've got 3,000 spots that are literally all connected to one another. So I think that's the value of parcels, and that's the application that I think a lot of us thought Block Runner were building, but turns out they weren't. So that's one of the applications that I'm focused on right now, which is to be able to use Bitmap and parcels in particular to create spaces for communities onto the Bitcoin metaverse. And I think that's where, when that space happens, it makes it much, much easier for a lot of these assets, particularly like BRC-420, to have much more utility. That utility then, of course, adds tradable value, and then marketplace on and on from there. So just really focused on that, and that's been accelerated considering the events over the last couple of days. So I'm super looking forward to that, and hopefully coming on the end of it, everything, I'm a relentless optimist. So everything coming out of this, at least, it pours much more attention to what Bitmap is, what we're doing, and you can kind of see the passions around it. So it's just a matter of creating products to feed that.
Yeah, 100%. And Shizzy and I are super bullish on BRC-420 assets. Bullish to the point to where we're actually partnering with a game developer, and we're creating a branded asset that's going to be usable in the game, right? So just exactly what you're talking about there. So super excited with that. Any other updates from your side? I know you have the egg, right? That is the first 3D generative BRC-420 asset that is associated with Bitmap 420. Any updates with that, or anything else in terms of your platform?
Yeah, absolutely. Just using that to bring much more value, right? So the egg itself, not only do you get the awesomeness of BRC-420 as the first generative 3D item there, but you also get a guaranteed free mint to our parceled capital bitmap. So effectively, that's the egg becomes your free mint pass. So one egg equals one free mint parcel. So it gives us even much more incentive to get our community parceling tool up and running as quickly as possible, and just, to try to add as much value. I love that you can just like zoom in and like, swirl it around and touch it, and you can just imagine those sorts of things and the Bitcoin metaverse much more alive. So if you want to get a free parcel, hey, your egg's already there. You've got double bonus there. Get the egg and you get the free parcel, as well as the points multiplier once we get to that point.
Yep. And it looks like you guys are about 75% minted out. So you got about 25% left here, guys. So if you're interested, check out the egg. Is that a 0 at the end?
Yes, it's egg 0, which would imply there's more to come.
All right. Yeah. So that initial Genesis egg, which will give you a free parcel mint with the right way to parcel. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into
absolutely that's that's actually the headline post for tomorrow, which is to show exactly how it's done. We actually did the batch inscription today, so the literal like opposite of what's been said. It's like, no, you can't do this, and it's like, well, actually, dude, look on chain. We did exactly what you said couldn't be done. So one more reason to stick to the standard, to stick to consensus. It's like, it's not that hard. Let's be friends. Let's get together. Let's kumbaya, hug it out. But most importantly, let's follow a standard, because otherwise it's just wild, wild west. And that sends everyone's bags to 0. And that's not what any of us want. What's much better when we work together.
I love it.
100%.
Yeah,
Did you have a question?
Say, like, no, not really a question. Just like Bitmaps and Merlin L1. It's just awesome to see that you're building here, not only on layer 1 but on Merlin and using Bitmaps. I mean, it's just like the ultimate combination.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep, and the power of that Bitmap community, don't overlook the power of that Bitmap community. Right now, like, I mean, the other side is having trouble because the Bitmap community is pushing back, and they won't just let you kind of do whatever you want. There's going to, like you said, consensus is the thing there. But Ben, we appreciate you jumping on, man. Always a pleasure having you back on. Ben Schiller, everybody, from Bitmap 420. We can't wait till, I know you're busy with this parceling system because of everything that's happening, but once that slows down, love to see the other parts of your, utility of your tooling and stuff for your platform.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. As always, good to see you again, or hear from you, Jeff. Can't wait to see you next time when I'm in Singapore.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. We'll talk later. All right. Let's see here. We got next is we got Mr. J from Unicross. Now, Unicross, first of all, we have 748 people listening in live right now. So we appreciate each and every one of you guys paying attention for this upcoming bull market. But we have Mr. J, and if you don't know who Mr. J is, he's one of the founders of Unicross, which is a huge utility platform protocol for Merlin Chain that allows bridging from layer 1 over, also just partnering with so many different protocols in the ecosystem. Let's bring him up. Mr. J, how are you doing, sir?
Yo, GM, I love the energy, and I was listening to you guys talk about bitmaps and parceling, and dude, it's one of the things that binds us together. I did start in ordinals through bitmaps. I tried to do something on bitmaps together with Jeff in the past. I've been watching him build on bitmaps for a long time, so it really pulls on some strings in the heart, and it brings back a lot of good memories. Yeah, what's up, guys?
Yeah, I mean, our logo is a bitmap, right? I mean, Jeff's Twitter handle is bitmap.tech. I mean, if we're not full bitmap here, I don't know what we are.
Yeah, that's why, like, one time Shizzy was flooding bitmaps, and I was like, bro, like, we're gonna have to rebrand. What are you doing?
I wasn't flooding bitmaps. I was flooding the community. So, but that was it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I understand, man. Community is a hard thing, and bitmaps is like, the true testament of a community consensus, and I think that comes with its own set of challenges as well. So some updates about what we're doing here at Unicross. We've been pretty busy working on some things in the back end. Can't really share until like we do have like some more concrete information to share. But I just want to talk about some things that I've been noticing about the market recently. Is that there is a strong interest in BTC Fi, and that kind of encapsulates both Bitcoin and Bitcoin assets. We were building for Bitcoin assets since layer 1 and then layer 2, and this whole journey has shown us being in the trenches with everyone, being in the trenches with community members and builders in the beginning, and it's just beautiful to see all these recent developments. Today, Stolf announced that they've raised $25 million to do their layer, and I think a lot of these investors right now are heavily interested in this whole Bitcoin Fi track, and that's a very good development for us on layer 1, layer 2. It doesn't matter as long as you're doing something with Bitcoin assets like BRC-20, BRC-420, runes, and ordinals. This is just a true testament. We've been like in the trenches for a long time, and it's just really amazing to see these fruits of our labor come true. And not just on chain, we're talking about like stuff that's happening off chain as well. There's like I think $4.5 billion in Q2 alone of money flowing into Bitcoin ETFs. How much this translates into on-chain activities, that's really up to anyone's guess. But this also brings a lot of attention to the whole Bitcoin ecosystem, and slowly and surely, we're going to trickle down all these interest towards what we're doing on chain and what we're building on chain to expand like Bitcoin, the whole Bitcoin ecosystem. I do agree a lot with Jeff. There's a lot that can be done on Telegram, and this is a I would say one aspect that cannot be ignored. For ourselves, we are also exploring opportunities over there, and it's just too early for us to tell. As we've got quite a few things that are working on behind the scenes. And yeah, for Bitmap Game, I'm very excited to be integrated into Bitmap Game, so we can bring like a more seamless experience to like users of the game in terms of like using applications on chain and different functions that they can actually experience in the Bitmap game itself.
Yeah, like SocialFi could definitely be something big that thrives, that comes out of that environment with bitmap.game. But, you bring up an interesting point with BTC Fi. So for the audience that doesn't know what BTC Fi is, it's not just Bitcoin DeFi. BTC Fi is more of the staking kind of mechanism of Bitcoin. Through like Babylon is a big name that comes to mind of, just being able to stake your Bitcoin and earning off of that, right? But what I never thought of until you just mentioned that is that when these whales are getting their profits, or are able to get some of their profits, and when we're in the bull market, some of them like to gamble, and they could gamble some of that into like these layer 1 synthetic assets on Merlin, or in the Bitcoin ecosystem, because at that time things will be popping left and right. What are your thoughts on that? Could that be a possibility?
Yeah, I think that's a huge possibility. We've been building the infrastructure for Bitcoin assets to go into Merlin, and although it is a market that is still in its early stages, one of the things that everyone kind of agrees on right now, both through users and also project builders and VCs, one thing that everyone can agree on is that meme coins are actually this the whole narrative right now. Meme coins on Bitcoin are really something that's really different, and I think it holds a lot of value, just having meme coins on Bitcoin. I think I talked about this last time I was here as well. Like these meme coins that you're playing, like if the LP on different EVM chains, if they're not backed by like Bitcoin assets, not backed by sats, basically. It means that when these meme coins are done and dusted, all you're left with is with numbers, and these things are it's just empty numbers that doesn't have a value because the LP is gone, right? But with meme coins on Bitcoin, that every asset does have a set value, and as we see Bitcoin continuously grow, this value itself grows as well. So your 1,000 sats or 300 sats might not be a lot right now, but as we see the trajectory of Bitcoin going, like $1 million towards $1 million, for example, those 300 sats are going to be worth a lot when you add them all up together. So I'm very excited to see actually how new builders are coming up with innovations, and we'll just be working on providing more of these infrastructure services and also some innovations of our own to support this whole ecosystem.
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So in terms of any like latest updates with Unicross, and what do you have for the audience? Maybe they're asking for some alpha telepathically to my mind right now. So what can you give them?
We're heads down building, man. Heads down building. I haven't really been onto spaces a lot recently. It's because we've been heads down building, and we're really excited to actually want to share a lot of things, but it really has to be something that we are very comfortable with sharing before we can actually let you guys know. But just know that we're heads down building really, really hard and trying to come up with new innovations for you guys.
Gotcha.
I have a question for you. Is maybe you can hit on this, maybe you can't. As one of the things you're head down building, are you guys maybe building a bridge from Fractal to Merlin? Will I be able to bring my Glizzy to Merlin and put in some LP pools over there? Is that anything you can hit on?
If that's something that Jeff, I'll let you. Just say like if that's something that Jeff would want to happen on Merlin, we're happy to see how we can.
No, don't sound like don't say like you're my employee. You're not my employee, bro.
He's trying to put it on you.
Yeah, you're on so many chains. Of course, you can add another chain to that. To be honest, I don't think that's the burden on the bridge. It's on the it's because of like the users, like what users want, right? Because if you have a better liquidity on another chain, or you can use that token for certain activities, I think the bridge will be more than happy to do so because they're making money on the bridge, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have like 10% of Glizzy, I'm pretty sure Mr. J will build the bridge for you.
10%.
So
I don't have that much. I've been accumulating, but not that quick. But Pizza Swap sucks. Like, by the way, because it's Hotel California. You can bridge in, but you can't bridge out. And I would love to be able to put it in an LP pool where I can actually bridge out of. That's my big thing.
Well, I was going to say one thing real quick. Like, I think at the end of the day, we look back at this, like even 8-10 months from now, there's going to be probably a lot more interoperability than anybody expected in the Bitcoin ecosystem. You already see it. Like what Unicross and Merlin Chain has been able to do in terms of bridging these layer 1 assets over and then being open-minded to, it's really trying to like bring more users and grow the overall Bitcoin ecosystem community, because the narrative is there. The narrative is strong. There's not another stronger narrative in this bull run than the Bitcoin ecosystem, in my opinion. Right. But I agree with Jeff. The users, there has to be strategies, and again, Merlin Chain is kind of innovating in that by taking 2 other approaches by bringing on more users. So it's really good.
Gotcha. Well, that's awesome to know. That's definitely possible, and but I just need to get more Glizzy.
All right.
Yeah. A lot of these things, it's really up to like community demand. If there's anyone like out there who wants this to happen, keep tagging Unicross, saying we need a bridge to Merlin, for a Fractal. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
All right,
go ahead. I haven't sold like any of them. Shizzy.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm on your side. I have so many Glizzy, but I haven't sold any. So I'm on your side.
Let's
the
go. Glizzy
That's the
Army,
trick.
stand up. We got
They-
Jeff
they-
in here. Let's go.
Yeah, they get you to buy, but you can't sell until it's to the moon. So we'll see. But Mr. J, I'm not going to let you go until you give us some of your some of your wisdom from your mind here. Will Bitcoin break an all-time high before the end of October?
Oh, that's a tough question. I don't think it will towards the end of October. But in the coming months, that's
Gotcha.
definitely a possibility.
Well,
Come on.
I'll-
You're supposed to say yes. You're supposed to say
Yeah.
yes
no,
tomorrow.
but that's the way I expected. Mr. J is very insightful. He has to think about like what his answer is, and I love that. All right, Mr. J, it's been a pleasure. Can't wait for once you can kind of announce these updates with Unicross. We know they're going to be huge, and we know that the future for Unicross is looking extremely bright.
Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Yep.
All right, man. What a great Merlin Mondays. 784 people. We got Jeff hanging out with us overtime right now. But we got one more guest, and he never disappoints. Mr. Fonzie with the energy coming up to the stage. What is up?
GG's guys. GG's GM guy. I come from Amsterdam. I'm like so so kind of blurred out. I heard Glizzy. I'm like, yo, we need more Glizzy. We don't have enough Glizzy.
What is GG, by the way?
Oh, it's a good game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the opposite. We need GM. yeah, but what we need more of is definitely Glizzy. We don't have enough Glizzy out there.
We need a Glizzy Ordinal collection.
That's right.
What we need. We need a bunch of hot dogs on the blockchain.
Or I feel like there's a sleeper meme that we haven't talked about in a while, but you and I have. It starts with an H and it ends with a U. Who might wake up during meme season.
That's right.
I see that liquidity pool is still there, so we'll see what happens there. But what's been going on with you, man? You've been traveling across the world, meeting women, beautiful women, doing all these things. What's up?
Amsterdam is a very nice place. Like, it's just really good. Great culture, great food. It's impossible to drive there. I don't know how like the Uber drivers do it. Like, you have to bike to get around. The roads are very narrow. But just overall, like, it was just so much fun meeting great people there. I see Satoshi in the chat, so I met him IRL. Great, fantastic guy. So yeah, great to meet like individuals in this space. And it's always a different experience, right? Just going to these side events and just getting like the latest alpha too, like kind of for the projects themselves and kind of like running away with that. I think alpha is it's like a drug, right? Like, you need more and more of it. But yeah, I'm happy to be here on Merlin Mondays, and yeah, there's so much to talk about. Like, I think earlier in October, Shizzy was like, yeah, it's been postponed. We postponed it October. Not anymore. It's here.
I was the opposite. Well, I did say the beginning was slow, but we'd end strong, and it seems to be that we still have 2 weeks. We'll see.
It does. We're seeing it play out with like different runes too. Like, there's different runes that are just like, man, they're skyrocketing. It feels like Solana here. Plus like 10 minutes to kind of prep for anything, right? So
that's the advantage. And like, people don't look at the bright side of slow blocks, but you at least get to prep for it. But let's talk a little bit about Ordinal Hive and what does it look like for I know you have a collab with Unicross and stuff for Merlin Chain. When are you guys going to get that going? Is that going to take a little bit more time? What are you looking at with that?
Yeah. So we definitely want to announce details on that in a second too. I think one thing we want to get on the second layer on Merlin Chain done before it happens is the aggregation on Merlin Chain. I think it'd be very, very important. Just aggregate across different marketplaces there, just to kind of access different liquidity, different listings, and then the trading comments that would definitely come. So I need to get in touch with Mr. J. Fairly quick, actually, probably today or this week, to finalize the details on that. But we have like the structure for it. We'll have the trading comp itself, and it's a perfect time to do so, just because of like the entire environment, market sentiment. I think whenever you have usage on L1, heavy usage on L1, L2 benefits, right? And so I think Merlin Chain is a great place, and I think for us the next step, natural progression there will be to aggregate everything that's going on there as well.
Yeah, so I agree with that 100%. You guys created like the aggregator marketplace for layer one, and now doing it on Merlin, the scaled version.
Yeah.
It makes the most sense, right? So when do you think that timeline turnaround would look like? Do you think like maybe a month out from now? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah. So I think a month out from now is pretty good, like sort of framework for this stuff here. It shouldn't be too difficult considering like most of it has already been built. It's just a lot of this integration from back end to front end and just like scraping data across the board. So that's something that we definitely will have like maybe within a month's time. And I think that'll be a great environment. Great, we're positioning ourselves to be in a great place for this run up that we're having, that we're seeing play out as we speak. So yeah, we can expect this like maybe like a month and a half off from now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So one of the topics of discussion with Jeff in the beginning of the show was onboarding users, right,
Yeah.
to Merlin Chain, and one of their approaches is with Telegram, and another approach might be with like a pump.fun style that is coming from a different area, right? So let's talk about the Telegram users. So how could Ordinal Hive kind of take advantage of the not so seasoned crypto user, right? Like, but that eventually starts to use Merlin Chain because they're using the Telegram app. Is that do you guys have an idea of how you guys can approach them?
Yeah, there's actually a couple of ways we can do this, right? Like I think when it comes to Telegram, I think the UI is beautiful. Like the UI on Telegram will be very nice. People are already used to using Telegram. I think for us with collections, there might be something to be said about collections, just because you need to view the actual image, which I'm not sure we can upload all the images on that there. But maybe we can make it more of a degen play, where like instead of looking at the images, you just look at the price of the collection. You buy like the lowest price one, the floor price, and just like sell it instantly afterwards, right? Flip it. There can be something there that we can do, and sort of like maybe have more precise discussions on how to implement that. But yeah, there's different plays we can achieve. I think sniping. I've seen some Telegram like applications use Telegram for sniping itself, but I'm not sure if it's achievable just because the faster block times are Merlin compared to like other blockchains. But I think a play would definitely be doing something around that end. So we have some degen play where you like buy the floor, flip it instantly the next block and stuff, and just like go around there where you don't have to see the actual image, and pretty much you don't care. You just trade it as a token, which I think it's what we're heading toward. It's what it's basically heading towards down the road. But yeah, I think that's something that we can see us like implementing on Telegram.
Yeah. That actually is, in my opinion, is like really degen, which is attractive, I think, to some people. Like, if you could set the percentage gain, you're like, okay, I want to get this one. It's popular. It's on fire or something. You put an emoji, and then like, I want to set it to 15% gain or something. And then you just let the smart contract do its work.
Yeah, there's automation tools, like automated tools we're also discussing too. Like, there's different things we can kind of achieve, and a lot of it is kind of using all this tooling necessary like out there, so you can make the best training or even improve your training experience right at the end of it. So that's part of it too, like kind of those increase using some form of AI to kind of help facilitate that would be pretty cool as well.
Awesome.
Yeah. So in the beginning, you kind of talked about Alpha and Amsterdam. Could you kind of just tell us about your experience, and if you have anything to share, that would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so we hosted a mixer. We did a mixer on Thursday, and it was me, it was BitLayer, Arch Network was there, Chad from MotoSwap was there, Liquidity and Robin was there, and then Villar Mytho. And so they all shared great insight about the projects. We kind of shared about sort of like the ecosystem as a whole. And honestly, like I just became bullish. I became bullish on everything that was shared. I think Liquidium is very nice. The Liquidium token has some really nice things coming in the future. Their implementation of like the community kind of governance and all this stuff is interesting. So they're like, I think, the first one who's done it so far in some capacity, or at least in that sort of reach. And then Villar, like, I mean, they're cooking some really good DX there, like really good stuff. BitLayer has some stuff they're cooking. Arch Network, I mean, programmability with layer one is always good to like hear and understand. And then you have OpNet, which is another option, another like kind of competing protocol for like smart contracts on Bitcoin. So like I think one thing that came out from that is that people are building, like they're building their heads down building. And overall, this is just a general like net positive for the ecosystem, right? I think when you kind of look at it from like take a backseat, look at it from like a more holistic perspective itself, you'll see how much like the ecosystem has grown over the last year, and you have like leading L2s like Merlin Chain, right, do very well, who position themselves very well for the next run up. And so yeah, I think one thing that came out of it is that L1 will be congested again, and so L2 is going to be a play. And then you'll have much of the volume coming there. So yeah, I think Merlin Chain is a great one. I think positioning us there and like driving traffic and onboarding users like to that, especially from Ethereum, Solana, something that are accustomed to using is trading aspect and trading environment is always a beneficial. So it's always a benefit. So yeah, I think they'll have no problem with that.
Amazing. How is the Merlin version of Hive doing over there? Are you guys seeing any traction? You get anything picking up?
Yeah.
I've been actually like doing some arbitrage because
Nice.
sometimes someone will list something way cheaper, and then I
Yeah.
just kind of like bridge it out or do the same thing where I bridge it in. And I've noticed that there's been some price differences.
Yeah.
Do you see maybe that picking up with users?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's two things to say to that. First is like a lot of it will be service incentivizing for specific things on the L2, and that's going to come soon with the training comp and kind of making sure we like roll that out to perfection. And the second thing too is there'll be opportunities for arbitrage, which we're also like working on too. L1, L2 pricing will be different, right? Either one will be priced higher than the other or vice versa. So like there's going to be opportunities for you to bridge over assets, sell it there, or even buy it, bridge it back down to L1, sell it here. And we're working with tooling to help facilitate a lot faster, right? Making the process more automated and like even giving you like, hey, there's this opportunity to like make this profit, right? Do you want to go for it? So there'll be that stuff that will come down the road too, down in the roadmap. But yeah, that's a play we see happening. I think when you have much more congested and much more volume in the eco, you'll see those price differences kind of, between L1 and L2. So yeah, I think if you're doing that, Shizzy, like you'll definitely be up, and then Gleezy as a result will go up as well.
But that's the thing. So not only am I getting, arbitraging, I'm earning Hive points, correct?
Yeah.
Because right now, every time I list something or every time I buy something, I earn these Hive points, and eventually that could turn into something too. So not only am I doing arbitrage and making a few bucks here and there, but I'm also earning points, right?
Exactly. And you can earn points. Like you don't have to like necessarily buy. You can just like list stuff, right? Of course, if you sell something, someone buys it, you get more points for that itself. But listing items, works the same. And points, you want to get points, especially early on. That'll be like the easiest way to get points. Just get those OG points. But yeah, we're incentivizing buying, selling, and also bridging your assets over. Is another metric we're looking at to like achieve that too.
Yeah. And
That's awesome.
we do see that as a problem with new people coming in. Obviously, we're all pretty confident in bridging and stuff like that, but new people are a little bit scared off. So we're actually going to make tutorials and stuff like that to kind of have some more people kind of learn how to bridge. I think education is probably one of the biggest walls right now.
Yeah, I agree. You guys done a great job too. Like I think you guys have done a great job, and yeah, 100%. Like bridging like the gap between those who are like, new to the eco, don't understand trading environment on Bitcoin, and like get into like understand how it works. But yeah, it's super easy. It's not difficult to bridge your assets over. I believe you guys had a tutorial early on. We do have blog posts that we push forth for any users who want to learn how to do that. But yeah, I think you guys done a solid job like all throughout. So
Appreciate
yeah.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
One thing I really loved that you said earlier was about your alpha out of Amsterdam is you named like I want to say 5 different protocols, chains, ecosystems that weren't in each other's ecosystem, but like the overall Bitcoin ecosystem, right? So I think it's showing that like the Bitcoin ecosystem is much more cohesive than maybe other people think, and they work together, to kind of make this a robust ecosystem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm super excited about that, but. We are coming up on time, and we've been going for 2 hours and 2 minutes for this entire show, and 843 people are watching live.
Congrats.
But I'm gonna have you leave the show the same way Mr. J did. Will Bitcoin break all-time high before October 31st?
Oh hell yeah!
Let's go. That's
I love it, bro. I love it.
Hey, we don't know if it's gonna happen or not. Both were good answers, but appreciate you, Fonzie, and we will talk to you soon.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys having me up here. Seriously, Yagobi. And talk to you later, Jeff.
All right. Bye.
Cheers, guys.
All right. And it all comes back to where it started. What's up, Jeff? How do you feel about it? How do you feel about Ordinal Hive?
Yeah, like everything you guys talk about are great, and I was actually thinking how to bring massive adoption to the Ordinal Hive products. I was just having that on my mind right now. I think everything on my mind is about getting more users. Like when you guys saying about like can Bitcoin go to all-time high this month, I was thinking about can we have like a prediction market on that on Telegram to actually let users to swipe 15 news every day. Like today the football game score, like is Elon Musk going to take these like his rocket back successfully, like all these kinds of stuff,
Dude.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
users are going to like are loving to have this information on Telegram and bet on some of them. And so I think right now on my mind is to get all users go to Bitcoin ecosystems. I don't really care about Bitcoin price go all time high now. I actually personally hope it won't, because you give us more time. And I think last year, like all these great builders who are successful this year is because they have enough time last year to build under the bear market.
Yeah, I agree. But one thing you have to remember is once Bitcoin goes to 80, 90,000, your neighbor's going to be knocking on your door saying, hey, how do I do this? Right? You're going to have more and more users pouring in and educating themselves and then finding things like Merlin, correct?
Yeah. So it's always about timing, right? Just like build stuff before the huge takeoff, and then provide the stuff to users who are so eager to buy stuff. Yeah.
100%. All right, Jeff, we appreciate you spending your time. I know it's super late where you are, but you dedicate the time and effort into spending time and updating the community. It looks like there's a question for you from Jamine Coin. He says, "Hi Jeff, could you talk about BRC-420, the blue box? What is the future plan for it?"
Yeah, so first, BRC-420 is a protocol that everybody's free to do stuff on that, and they have to bring utilities to their own products. For the blue box, like we said on day one, it's useless. That's why we joke about it, because we really didn't have like at that time it was like $30, right? So like nobody care about that, and like nobody like expect. We say it's a test token, but we actually like say something in the tweet. We're going to have more utilities for that. I think we're trying to get these assets tokenized first, like the Bitmap did with the Merlin Phantom, and with that token must have some utilities. We're thinking about giving this asset a developer or like a staker or voting kind of rights to make sure they're not governing the whole network, but somehow they're participating in the governing process, and also governing the developer ecosystems. So yeah, we're still thinking, but I mean, I think for a fair launch 10K project, free mint, fair launch, staying at, I think right now it's like 0.025 Bitcoin. I think it's fair enough, right? We
Yeah,
expect
I mean,
like much higher.
Yes, it's at $1,602 as the floor
Oh, you
price.
cannot find and like many 10K like NFT with that kind of price. Probably can find 5 or 6, right? But not many. But yeah, we're definitely going to build that. But I think we don't build for the price, right? Like I would like to this is something here. Like lots of guys coming to us trying to get us shilling for them, get the promotion on our Twitter stuff. But we spend millions of dollars building Merlin Chain. We spend a lot of time and effort, days and night building Merlin Chain. But you cannot see us even sell for Merl token on Twitter, right? We never say anything about Merl token. So much utilities, so bright future, 75% locked on chain, circulation is low. We never say that, because we want to build first. We want to have stuff that users really love. Like we see last year, like lots of builders built BRC-420 to get on Bitmap, Bitmap Metaverse, use them, have fun. We want to see that happen first, and I think the value comes later.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, perfectly said. All right, Jeff, we'll let you go to sleep now. Thank you again for spending time with the community. And until next Monday, we will talk to you later.
Yeah, next Monday.
All right.
See you, buddy.
Take it easy. Bye. Whew. That was a good segment of Merlin Monday. 871 people watching, learning, educating themselves. I love it.
Yeah, man. And guys, if you guys want more of this, tune in next Monday at 12 p.m. and every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So check that out, guys. We're going to have updates from Jeff. And that's one thing about Merlin Monday that's pretty awesome. Is every week Jeff has something new. I mean, it's like it's never a dull moment in Merlin. And I think people are really, really maybe turning maybe the wrong eye to it, right? I think we need to be focusing,
Overlooking maybe a little bit.
overlooking it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like not really paying attention to it too much. And I think that's probably a mistake. Obviously, we have new things like Fractal that's shiny and stuff like that, but I think things like Merlin and even Stacks are kind of being overlooked right now because they're kind of looking like they're not really moving or building, and they both are.
Yep, exactly, guys. And so we want to thank each and every one of you guys, each and every one of you 875 people that are watching live right now, for hanging out with us. If you do have some extra time, please check out our partners. Our first partner is BetBTC. They are a predictions market utilizing ICP and Bitcoin technology, right? So it's one of the first protocols that has come out of this whole ecosystem of ICP and Bitcoin. So look out for their announcement of their mainnet launch. That should be coming up soon. There's tons of predictions markets that they're going to have available. They're also looking to scale in other areas of the Bitcoin ecosystem. So look out for updates with them as well. So we'll give you guys more updates on them, and we're going to have a recorded episode with the founders coming up soon as well. BitPerp is a perpetual leverage DEX that's going to be launching on Bitcoin Layer 2s in the next day or so, and the paper trading competition is going to be live. We will both be participating. They're going to be on BOB, BitLayer, and Core, Bitcoin Layer 2s. So just hang out with us while we do this competition. It's going to last about 4 or 5 weeks. Should be very, very fun. Also, we're going to try to get some more BitPerp VIP passes to give away to you guys this for the rest of this week, guys. So check those guys out. Very excited about their launch. And then Ordinal Hive, you just heard Fonzie. They are a aggregator for Bitcoin Layer 1 marketplace for ordinals, as well as scaled to Merlin Layer 2. They're going to be an aggregator on there as well. You just heard Fonzie talk about it. Earn the Hive points, guys. It's a very similar setup to Blur. So you know what happened when you earn points over there. You can list to earn points. You don't have to sell or buy. You can just list. But if you do sell or buy, you get higher amount of points. Also, there's going to be campaigns with Unicross, so where you can get multiplier point earnings and stuff like that. Next up is Foxy, which is building the Bitverse on tap. They are building the Clan Wars first-person shooter game. We have a partnership with them, a BRC-420 asset that will be dropping probably in the next, I would say, 3 weeks to a month, but it's super exciting. You can use it in game. It's going to be a weapon, but we have different versions of that as well. And then fluid tokens, guys. If you have Billy Cats and you didn't stake any of those, you've got to pay attention to the show, because there's some people in Twitter that said we didn't know. Like, watch the show, because we were talking about it for multiple weeks. They are innovators on Bitcoin Layer 1. They added staking to their platform. So TVL on Bitcoin's native layer is now available, guys. They just launched the Omen staking vault, where you can earn the Dog Runes token, right? So, keep your eye out on them. They're going to have multiple staking vaults open to where you can earn. But if you're a founder and you want to have your community benefit, reach out to Raul, the CTO of Fluid Tokens, or reach out to us and we'll get you connected to them. And then lastly, but not least, Merlin Chain. We just had them, the builders and the founder, on for the last hour. If you are a builder and you're looking to scale Bitcoin Layer 1 protocol to make it more flexible, you can do so on Merlin Chain. They have amazing grants for builders that are serious, that really want to make a difference and innovate in the Bitcoin ecosystem. And if you're a user and you want to be able to trade tokens quicker that are native Bitcoin tokens, like Doggo to the Moon, you can do that on Merlin Swap within the chain there. But we appreciate all of you guys paying attention to us and our partners.
Yeah, and we just made that the partnership with Merlin official over the weekend. We've been wanting Merlin since early this year, and we finally got that book down. So we're just really happy to have Merlin on board, and all of our partners really. Yep. BTC, BitPerp, Ordinal Hive, Foxy. It's such a blessing to have amazing people behind us and who believe in us, because we believe in them, right? So that's the whole point of the partnerships. But guys, check out OrdinalRevolution.com. We have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone just entering the space, send them our website. We really feel like it can help them really get caught up very quickly. So check out OrdinalRevolution.com. And if you're going to Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas, we have tickets here with a discount. Don't wait till next year to buy these. Get these this year. The discount is going to be so extreme because they go up in value so quickly, probably as May gets closer. So get them as soon as possible. If you need a VPN, we have VPNs here. We have a 70% off discount for NordVPN. Don't pay full price. Use our VPN, and don't use Magic Eden without a VPN right now. You might get your airdrop messed up. I don't know about that for sure, but VPNs are very legal. There's nothing wrong with privacy, and that's what VPNs do. And also, we have a store. If you're looking for the best merch in crypto, we have it at ordinalrevolution.com. I added some new stuff today over the last couple of days, just messing around. But if you go here and you go to hoodies, we have these new hoodies right here. This one, I like this one. I'm actually going to buy this for myself. Chancellor on the brink of second bailout for banks. So check out this one right here, guys. Brand new, just add it. Really appreciate you guys just taking a look, even if you don't buy anything. And that's the show, guys. We're live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out, guys. We really appreciate it. And till tomorrow.
Peace.
We OG, or no OG. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Rooms is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC-420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.